In June 2024, a man named Ilya Sutskever walked away from OpenAI. He gave up millions in stock, took 20 people with him, and raised $3 billion. But he still hasn't released a single product. And the reason why is kind of terrifying. His company is called Safe Superintelligence, and their entire mission is to build what researchers call Stage 5 AI. Right now, we're somewhere around Stage 2, which means most people have no idea what's actually coming. There are 5 stages in total, and each one is a massive leap from the previous one. By the end of this video, you'll understand where we are right now, what each stage looks like, and why someone like Ilya believes Stage 5 is worth betting everything on. ChatGPT launched in November 2022, and within 2 months it had 100 million users. No product in history had ever grown that fast. And that was just the beginning, because right now, roughly 1 in 10 people on Earth uses a tool like this on a regular basis. This is Stage 1, large language models, or LLMs, which power tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and Grok. These are the tools most people think of when they hear the word AI, and they're just the foundation for the 4 stages that come after. The way they work is simpler than you'd think. Every LLM is trained on a massive amount of text, basically the entire internet, books, articles, code, conversations, research papers, all of it. The model reads all of that and learns patterns. It learns that certain words follow other words, that certain ideas connect to other ideas, and it builds a massive web of how language works. When you type a prompt, the model doesn't look anything up. It predicts the most likely next word, one word at a time, over and over, until it forms a complete response. Every answer you've ever gotten from a chatbot was generated one word at a time based on patterns learned from billions of pages of text. What's wild is that something so simple produces results this good. Right now, I'm inside ChatGPT, and if I ask it to explain quantum computing to a 10-year-old, it does it perfectly. If I ask it to write a program that scrapes data from a website, it gives me working code in seconds. If I paste in a legal contract and ask it to find risks, it catches things a lawyer would miss. This is Gemini doing the same thing, this is Claude, and this is Grok. They all work the same way at the core, predict the next word, and get better at it by training on more data with more computing power. And this is exactly where it starts affecting you directly, because this goes way beyond just writers and coders. No matter what industry you are in, these tools are already capable of doing parts of your work. Harvard found that consultants using AI were about 25% faster and produced 40% higher quality output, while also completing around 12% more tasks overall. The people using these tools are pulling ahead of the people who are not, and that gap is growing every single month. But Stage 1 has one ceiling it can't break through. I can ask ChatGPT to plan my entire vacation, and it'll give me a perfect schedule, but I still have to book every flight, every hotel, every restaurant myself. I can ask it to draft an email, but I have to copy it, open Gmail, paste it, and hit send. No matter how smart the model gets, it's stuck behind a text box telling you what to do instead of doing it. And that's exactly what Stage 2 was built to fix. And by the way, I put together a free action guide that breaks down exactly what tools to use and what skills to build at every single stage. You can grab it for free in the description below. Stage 2 is when AI stops answering and starts performing tasks for you. Instead of telling you how to book a flight, it books it. This is where we are right now in early 2026, and these agentic systems are still in their awkward phase, capable of impressive things, but they also fail in ways you don't expect. Claude can now use a computer to complete tasks for you. It can move through apps, click around, type, and carry out actions step by step just like a person would, without you needing to guide each step. Google's Project Mariner can juggle 10 tasks at the same time. In coding, tools like Devin and Cursor are letting developers build and ship software at a speed that would have been impossible a year ago, and it's already going beyond one-off tasks. Gemini now lets you set up scheduled actions, so you can have an AI agent check your email every morning for flight deals and text you when something matches your criteria. You set it once, and it runs on its own from that point on. There's another project making waves recently called ClaudeBot, which is a personal AI assistant you install on your own computer. It connects to your messaging apps like WhatsApp, Telegram, or Discord, and it runs in the background 24/7 with persistent memory. It remembers what you talked about yesterday, what tasks are still pending, what your preferences are, and it can take action on its own without you needing to prompt it every time. But the honest version of Stage 2 is definitely still messy. Only about a quarter of organizations have actually scaled agentic AI out of the testing phase. Most agents work great in a demo, but break in the real world. They'll get derailed by a cookie consent banner or freeze on a CAPTCHA, but the direction is clear, and the people learning to work with these agents now are building an advantage that grows over time. Each of these agents works alone though, so what happens when instead of one, you have 20 of them, each with a different role, all working together? Stage 3 is the jump from a single AI assistant to an entire AI team. Think of it this way. Right now, in Stage 2, you tell one AI to do one thing. In Stage 3, you tell one AI what you want, and it breaks that down into subtasks and hands each one off to a different agent. The biggest platform building this right now is called Crew AI. The idea is that you define a crew of AI agents, and each agent has a specific role, a specific goal, and specific tools it can use. So you could build a crew where one agent is a researcher with access to the internet, another is a writer that takes the research and turns it into a report, and another is an editor that checks the report for accuracy. You define who does what, how they hand it off to each other, and then you hit go. The crew runs the entire workflow and gives you the finished product. Crew AI already serves 60% of Fortune 500 companies, which tells you how fast this is moving from experimental to running daily operations. And there's a more creative version of this happening in the open source community. People are building what they're calling AI councils, where instead of agents doing tasks, multiple AI models sit around a virtual table and debate. You give them a business decision, and one model argues the financial side, another argues risk, another takes the customer's perspective, and they go back and forth until they land on a recommendation. It's like having a boardroom where every seat is an AI and you're the one asking the questions. It's a completely different use of multi-agent systems, and it shows how flexible this concept is. Where these systems are already working in the real world, the results speak for themselves. A major bank built a fraud detection system using 12 separate agents. Instead of using one AI that spreads its attention too thin trying to catch every type of fraud, they gave each agent one highly specific job. One watches transaction sizes, another checks account history, and a third flags weird locations. They all feed their findings to a coordinator that makes the final call. That simple shift jumped their accuracy from 87 to 96% and saved $18 million a year. But building these systems is a lot harder than it sounds. Every single time one agent hands a task off to another, there's a chance something gets lost or completely misunderstood. And the more agents you add to that chain, the faster those small errors start to multiply. Because of that, most companies end up underestimating the cost by a factor of 10. The technology is powerful but still early, and we probably won't see true mainstream adoption until closer to 2030. When it does mature though, multi-agent systems won't automate a single task. They'll automate entire workflows. That could mean taking over an accounting team doing their monthly close, or a marketing team building out a content pipeline, or a software developer handling a full release cycle. The question changes from, will AI help with my work, to which parts of my work still need me? And the answer to that is going to become clear sooner than most people expect. All three stages we've talked about so far share one massive constraint. Intelligence has a hard limit. Every agent in stage 3 can only ever be as smart as the underlying model powering it. They can coordinate with each other and execute tasks and even debate ideas, but they cannot actually think beyond what they were originally trained on. Stage 4 is about removing that limit, and it's the most fought over question in technology right now. The next stage is called Artificial General Intelligence, or AGI, and this is the stage every major AI lab on Earth is racing toward. The simplest way to understand it is this: every stage before now made AI better at specific things, better at answering, better at acting, better at working in teams. AGI is when AI can think across everything. It can take on any field or skill, the same way a smart person can, and perform at the highest level. It reasons like a scientist, creates like an artist, and strategizes like a CEO. And it does all of this because it figured it out on its own, not because someone specifically trained it to. Stages 1 through 3 make AI more useful. Stage 4 makes AI as capable as a human across the board, and once that line is crossed, everything changes. Nobody can agree on when it happens though. The CEO of OpenAI, Sam Altman, said in early 2025 that they know how to build it. Dario Amodei, who runs Anthropic, said that AI matching Nobel Prize winners could arrive by late 2026 or early 2027. Shane Legg, who co-founded DeepMind and literally coined the term AGI, gives it a 50% chance by 2028. On the other end, a survey of around 2,800 AI researchers puts the median estimate at a 50% chance by 2047. But those same researchers predicted in 2022 that AI wouldn't write simple code until 2027, and that happened in 2023. The track record of predicting AI timelines is terrible, even for the experts. Even the definition of the word AGI is a fight. OpenAI's leaked partnership with Microsoft ties AGI to a financial number. If an AI generates $100 billion or more in profit, it triggers a contract clause that cuts Microsoft off from certain technologies. So billions of dollars literally depend on how that single word gets defined. What's still missing is consistent common sense reasoning, genuine understanding of the physical world, reliable long-term planning, memory that accumulates over time, and the elimination of hallucinations. Almost everyone agrees AGI is coming. The fight is over whether today's approach gets us there or whether we need something fundamentally new. And regardless of which timeline you believe, the direction doesn't change. At some point, whether it's 3 years or 15, there will be an AI that can do your job at your level. The people who understand exactly where this is heading are taking a much smarter approach. They're already rethinking their professional value, transitioning from doing the raw work themselves to managing and evaluating the AI systems that handle it. Making that exact shift in your own mindset is the most critical career move you can possibly make over the next 5 years. The estimates range from 2 years to 2 decades, and the people placing those bets are spending billions to be right. But all of that feels small next to stage 5, because this is where it stops being about technology and becomes about the future of the human species itself. Superintelligence means an AI that surpasses every human mind on the planet combined. Think of it this way. A monkey is smart. It can use tools, solve problems, recognize faces, and even learn sign language. But no matter how smart that monkey gets, it will never understand math or write a novel. There is a limit to what a monkey's brain can do, and no amount of training will push it past that limit. The gap between human intelligence and superintelligence could be that wide or wider. We could be the monkey in that scenario, living alongside something so far beyond us that we can't even comprehend what it's thinking or why. And the reason this could arrive fast once AGI exists comes down to a simple idea. Once AI can do AI research as well as humans, it can improve itself, and each improvement makes it better at improving itself. That feedback loop has no natural stopping point. Right now, progress in AI depends on human researchers running experiments, writing papers, testing ideas, and that process takes months or years. A superintelligent system could run those same experiments in hours. It could try thousands of approaches simultaneously, and it could build on its own discoveries without ever needing to sleep, take a break, or explain its work to anyone. Forecasters estimate the jump from AGI to superintelligence could happen in as little as 2 years, with some scenarios as short as 5 months. And that's exactly why Ilya Sutskever, the man from the beginning of this video, gave up everything to start Safe Superintelligence. His company has raised over $3 billion. It is valued at $32 billion. It has about 20 employees, and it has released nothing. Their entire mission is building superintelligence safely, and Sutskever said the era of making models bigger is ending. The next breakthroughs need fundamentally new ideas, not more hardware. The people building this technology take the risks seriously. The CEOs of OpenAI, Anthropic, and DeepMind signed a joint statement saying the danger of AI at this level should be treated with the same urgency as pandemics and nuclear war. But the optimistic side is just as extreme. Experts project that superintelligent AI could compress a century of medical progress into less than a decade. We're talking about potentially doubling the human lifespan and curing diseases we've been fighting for centuries. The exact same technology that creates the biggest risk also creates the biggest opportunity. The job market is already feeling the early effects of what's coming. Writing jobs dropped a third after ChatGPT launched. Goldman Sachs estimates 300 million jobs globally are exposed to automation. Amode warned at Davos that AI could eliminate half of entry-level white-collar jobs within 5 years. But workers who use AI are 25% faster. They produce higher quality output, and they earn a 25% salary premium. The World Economic Forum projects 78 million more jobs created than lost by 2030. They're different jobs, though, going to different people. Now, the people building these systems disagree on the timeline, the method, and the risk. The one thing they agree on is the direction. And the distance between those who understand where this is heading and those who don't is already showing up in pay, in hiring, and in entire industries being reshaped. The most consistent thing across all 5 stages is that the people who came out ahead started learning early. And the hardest part is not learning one specific tool because those change every few months. It is building a system to stay current. I put together a complete 30-day roadmap for mastering AI, including the tools, the workflows, and the habits that actually stick. And you can click the video on your screen to watch that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.